Manga, ya empezamos mal. Start over. Take two. No.
Action.
Ya empezamos ahorita.
We're on. Lester, don't move.
I'm coming.
That's what he said.
Yeah, no, don't play. I'm coming.
Sure.
Okay, sending in the app and sending to the podcast.
Viste qué bonito está el micrófono.
Hermoso.
A quality mic.
Bello.
Quality microphone.
Okay. One moment,
Dios mío.
so we can see ourselves here, so we don't look so silly.
Too late. No, I'm kidding.
All right. About to start, guys. Episode 136. We're gonna do a live.
Hey.
Do a live for you.
No, para empezar a cara, los pies,
Are we live on IG?
las manos.
Yes.
Let's go.
Oye, ¿quién es esa gente? Están bonitos esos tipos.
Yeah, bro.
¿Tan bonitos?
No sabía.
¿Tú me los presentas?
No sabía, bro. Okay. All right. Ready to rock and roll. All right, then I'll be able to see you guys' chat as well. All right. Very good fandango.
Wait, shouldn't we move a little more? Look.
No, we're good. All right. Familia, what's going on? Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you guys so much for continuing to tune in to Salsa Kings Live. Actually, this was totally improvised here. We're gonna do episode 136. Normally, we just do this as an audio episode, but we figured that we'll go ahead and open this up live for everybody to comment and contribute to this episode. But to open up, this is going to be the episode for today. We call it LIMBO. So it's kind of like this in-between feeling, which we'll get into, and we'll get into discussions. Now, before we get started, we're super jacked up about Miami Salsa Cruise. We're going to be leaving this weekend.
Let's go.
8 days, 7 nights. We're going to be going to Cozumel, Mexico. We're going to Mahogany Bay in Honduras, as well as Costa Maya. We already got our shirts ready to rock and roll. Again, live salsa music every single night. We have a nice crew going out there. If you guys are interested, go ahead and visit news.miamisalsacruise.com. We'll actually give you a discount on your event ticket for next year, which we're super excited about. Or just for general information, miamisalsacruise.com. We would like to thank also our sponsor, My Dance Shirts. Guys, you can go ahead and submit any designs that you would like, and we can actually get a custom shirt designed specifically for you. Whether you're a kizomba lover, a tango lover, casino, salsa, mambo, línea, como sea, we'll go ahead and get those made for you. So we're gonna go ahead and launch this off. Let me go ahead and check the feeds really quick, make sure that we're ready to rock and roll.
Vamos para allá, vamos para allá.
We'll get this going. Beautiful.
Let's have some fun.
All right. What's going on, Instagram? What's going on,
Also,
YouTube?
happy Martin Luther King Day.
That's right, Martin
That's
Luther
right.
King Day. Yes, thank you, Lester. Thank you for that.
No
Appreciate
school
it.
today? No school
Oh,
today.
we do have class, so check it out.
Yes.
Miami location.
If you are in the Miami area, definitely. Here, come a little bit more
Yeah,
so we
come
can
on.
pull into this audio here. Okay, cool. So, Rico recaps. For those of you that don't know, are a recap essentially of a social dance experience or a feeling, or just very, very real, very, I guess you could say third dimension, for lack of better words. We're getting into the nitty gritty of kind of like what happens on an intangible level, how we're feeling when we're actually going out. Because as you guys know, unless you've been doing this for many, many, many years, it can get daunting even sometimes. You can see, you know, an advanced dancer and kind of get intimidated, or you can see a beginner dancer and maybe you weren't, happy with your own results, or there's so much that can happen, and we're wanting to help as usual. As the Salsa Kings brand, we're always trying to help everybody get on the dance floor feeling as confident and as happy, and essentially to enjoy yourself at the end of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and let Pablo open up kind of like the situation that happened this past week or 2 weeks ago?
I think it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago at Vivo.
At
right?
Vivo. Okay, so Vivo, for those of you in the Miami area, is hosted by DJ Cabrera and Salsa Fina, which is a sister school of Salsa Kings. Shout out to them as well as DJ Cabrera for everything that you've done for the Miami salsa community, casino, particularly Cuban music. Love you, brother. So that's every Thursday night in Dolphin Mall for those of you that are in the Miami area or in town.
Check us out.
Yeah, definitely. So Pablo, tell us a little bit about what happened, and don't hold anything back. Like, what were your feelings there? I guess how you kind of cope with them. I know that you were talking with me a little bit before that, and I had given you some pointers too.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So on a previous episode, we talked about how when you go to a social and you're not feeling the dancers high, like we said in that previous episode, it's important to not put pressure on yourself and not get frustrated. Just, take a break, go outside. Like, basically, como se dice en español, borrón y cuenta nueva. Just like get out, get refreshed. Like if you were coming back new into the social, you haven't been there before, and just start again. That's mine.
Open that up for me and load up Instagram so we can comment on everybody that's on there. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. So it should be right there.
Okay, cool.
So basically, where I'm going with this is the same thing that happened in that social that we were talking about the previous episode, happened in Vivo around 2 weeks ago, and I had recently come back from a New York trip. So I was like, I hadn't danced in like 2 weeks, más o menos, So no practice, no music, nothing.
You feel the itch.
Right,
The itch
bro.
when you haven't danced in a while.
And the funny thing is that I went to the social, like the social was on a Thursday, and I got from New York to Miami Thursday at 7. I was dancing in the social Thursday at 10.
That's right, I remember that.
So-
this guy, por eso se llama Rico. Pablito, he's loco. It's Rueda. We'll be in the middle of a park, and he'll be like Rueda, or we'll be in a cell phone store, trying to do something. It's a great idea to do a Rueda right now. So for sure, Pablito un loco. But yeah, for those of you that have listened to other Rico recaps, go ahead, brother. Absolutely.
It's never a wrong time to do a rueda.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so basically, when I was at Vivo, I was obviously pretty tired. You come back from a 7-day trip in New York
Oh man.
in Christmas, un poquito cansado, but I got there and I was
That
just
doesn't stop you.
no.
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 Yeah, coming back from New York? What?
Imagínate.
No, that's one not.
Esto es lightweight. So I was obviously a little bit tired, not too tired, never tired to dance. And when I got to the social, I was just like ready to dance with everyone. Like the itch, it was
Yeah,
a
the
freaking itch. And I noticed that I wasn't having fun. Like, when you're starving and then you start eating and you're like, I'm not even hungry anymore. Like, I haven't eaten in a week, but I'm not even hungry. It was kind of like that. And you kind of like want to eat. You wanna have that ice cream or that cookie or that steak. I don't know what you're into, but and then it doesn't taste so good. You don't even want to eat it. So that was what it was like for me. And then I even thought in my head, what am I doing here right now? I don't even want to dance right now, but I wanted to dance. So it was like a weird place. It was like a limbo, right? I don't know if that makes sense.
So would you say that it's possible that you were, was it maybe a little bit overwhelmed?
I wouldn't say overwhelmed because it's like I'm used to being there.
Right.
Like it's not like an uncomfortable place. It's just like
Well, I mean, versus because you had said that you hadn't danced in a while.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think that's actually a great comparison. When you're really, really hungry, you actually can't even really eat that much because, your stomach's smaller, I guess, if
Okay.
you're really specific. But maybe you've been away for so long that you kind of got to warm yourself into it. I know that those of us that go out dancing every weekend, when we don't go out dancing every weekend, then it's weird or then it's awkward.
right.
So I guess maybe kind of like everything else in that scenario, maybe, just kind of sort of easing into it, maybe that.
Maybe.
But you had said also that you kind of took a break too, that you wanted to see if you could kind of reset.
Yeah.
You went for a little walk. Like, what was your thought process on that?
So, I mean, eventually I got into the night. I mean, I think we got there around 10:30. And I think by 11:30, I think an hour, 2 hours in, I wasn't feeling it. I was just like, I got you, when you get to a social, you generally get there and you're not at the same point emotionally as the same when you leave the social, right?
Right. Okay.
And I think you kind of gotta warm yourself up into it. And what happened for me is that I started dancing, and eventually I got to a point where one, I didn't feel like dancing anymore.
Okay.
Like I didn't feel like dancing, and that frustrates me because that's never happened to me. I always wanna dance
Okay.
more.
Something new. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And two, I was getting the same feeling I got as the first dance I was there. Usually for me, what happens is that the first dance is like here, then the next dance is like here. The next dance it might be a little lower, but then it might go up. Like the baseline starts going up, and then obviously as you get tired, it might start going down or something. But essentially, it didn't change. If anything, it got worse. If anything, it got worse. So I don't know if that's happened to you. Like,
I can't say that it has happened to me exactly like that. I mean, I've had moments where I'm not really feeling it, but like he was saying, that you just sit back and just watch everyone dance until you start to get an animo. Or sometimes because when I dance, I always try to connect to the music, so I start to like wait around. Maybe it's not the right music, not the right song, or I don't like to blame the partner, but it's just something that you just I guess. I normally go to the music. I go to the song. Like if there's a good song, then I go ahead and try again. Yeah, I go ahead and I try again. If not, I mean, I just don't dance, because I guess being in that that mental state of not being there, and then wanting to dance with someone, you're kind of like in a place where you're taking that moment away from also someone else. Maybe I'm sure a lot of people like dance with you, and then you're like not feeling it, and then someone goes, hey, let me dance with you, but you're not ready.
right.
I would say like maybe then just don't do it, or just like you did it work when you when you took a break?
The curious thing, it hasn't worked for me that day. It didn't work for me that day. And something really important I wanted to add to your thing is that sometimes you don't want to sit down because you don't want to be the boring one. Everyone's dancing. Everyone is like, oh, you want to do rueda? Oh, they're putting reggaeton. Oh, ¿quieres hacer esto? And then you're sitting there like shit face. You're just like, oh, they're dancing so nice. And you're probably enjoying it, but from the outside, it looks like you're fucking boring. And, you know what I mean? Gotcha. It looks like you're not enjoying it, but I don't know.
I guess. I mean, we were there though. We were there.
Yeah, we were
Were
there.
you able to feed off of our energy? Did that help, or we?
Yes, actually, something really cool. The rueda was probably the funnest dance I had that night, but because I was feeding off your guys' energy.
Gotcha.
But when I danced with a couple, it was like
It wasn't there.
It wasn't,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I connect better with you guys because we've been dancing for a while.
Right. We understand our energy just flows together and it just works.
Right. Pero, yeah, I mean, essentially in vivo that day, what happened was that I got there, I started dancing, nothing really happened, and then at the end of the night, like the hours just kept passing, the minutes just kept going, and I kept trying, but it didn't work. So essentially, you say, okay, let me go, let me reset, let me come back, but then it doesn't work then, and then you're like, what is there left to do? Like I already reset, I already tried, I already did the rueda, so, what is there left to do? But, what could I say? I still think the reset is, I don't know, have you ever done the reset?
I've never had the opportunity to do that. Like I've never had, I guess, because I'm always normally I make the decision before going. Like if I feel in the mood, I'm already in there, so I just go and dance. I don't have a moment where I go, wait, maybe I don't want to do this, or like because normally for me, if I don't feel like going out, I just don't go out because I rather not, feel uncomfortable. I don't like to force anything because at least for me, when I dance, I like everything to flow out. I like everything to feel natural.
Okay.
If I'm forcing it, like your instance, you said you had an itch, which we all get that itch. You haven't been dancing for a long time. You want to go out. And maybe it just wasn't that day. Maybe you tried it, you gave it a shot, but it just didn't work out that way. But for me, I don't think I can't say that I've had a moment like that. Maybe I just got really tired and then I stopped, but I would stop. I wouldn't try to force
You would
it.
stop completely.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to force it personally, because you just want it to be organic. You want it to feel natural, especially if you're dancing with someone, who maybe they're feeling it. But if you're already coming into the dance not feeling it, then it just disrupts the whole flow of what it is when we go dancing.
Right. Have you ever taken what do you say, like a long break, like Like, have you ever taken like a month break, not dancing anything?
We can go to pandemic. We had a huge break.
Oh yeah.
We can go
Oh
there.
yeah.
Pandemic for especially for a dancer. Oh my goodness, that's like
Torture.
that was
Torture.
It was no legit. It was legitimate. I mean, for those of you that know, we were Salsa Kings was teaching live. You remember?
Yeah,
We were
that's right.
teaching live every day
Oh
for
my
free on Facebook and on YouTube. Which we still have access to those videos. Again, that's every single day during the pandemic for those 3 months. If you want access to those classes, they were phenomenal, by the way, if you want to take advantage of those. But if it wasn't for that little
Oh my God,
class
was
that I
huge.
had, like
That was huge.
I was
I was actually looking
and-
forward
and-
to it.
yeah,
yeah.
So Lester came around. You'll see in the
yeah.
videos. He came around every once in a
Yes,
while
someone's
just to hear the music,
Yeah.
just to
Oh
be
my
back in
God.
this space, because this is actually where we recorded it.
Absolutely.
Right over there.
That's right.
And
You just came to hang out. Like,
Huh?
literally, you just came to hang out.
We
like,
came hang out. No. We would be at home because it was when it was really serious and it was
Right.
just him and his partner at the time, and we couldn't go out. We couldn't go out. Nobody would go on the streets. Saying
Damn.
all we could do is literally what they're doing now, like watching us on live. Literally, we would go on live, and if we had any questions, we would type it in. It was super cool because like we had nothing else to do, and
Right.
just watching it just gave us a little bit of like.
Little
just
hope.
a little bit of like
Oh
it's
my
still
God.
there, you know. But we definitely had the itch. Because he was going back and saying how like if I ever had a moment where I went to a social scene and I didn't feel it. But I
Right.
was telling him that whenever I had that, I've either stopped and left or just watched, just observe. Because sometimes like in cases like that, I feel like we're so much in our head, especially when that happens,
Yeah.
that we don't realize, you know, just be in the moment. And the good news is that you were with us, so just hanging out with us, or maybe like I didn't know that was going on actually. Because, you know, I was in my thing. Had you spoken to us or, you know, just reach out to us. Reach out to a friend if that ever happens to you guys. Go with friends, you know, go with somebody that you already know. And just if that does ever happen to you where you're going out dancing and you just maybe not feeling it, just either sit down, like take a minute, drink some water, find a friend. Maybe that'll help you to bring up what was the word I'm looking for? Maybe that motivation to like go back on the dance floor. But you know, if you don't feel like you want to dance, just step aside, just give yourself a moment, give yourself a break, but don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too much in your head on that, because
right, which go figure. The last episode 135 is not that serious.
It's not that serious.
It's not that so. And I think that there's especially for new people, is just like anything else. Like you can have the best instruction in the world, but there's a real factor that, especially in 2024 now, wow, that we skip over, and it's time. There's a legitimate time factor that's involved in you just getting experience under your belt. The fact that you say that you had a bad night, that makes you that much better.
Right.
Because you've experienced that. Does that make sense? Like, it's not always going to be positive. Growth is not linear. There's always ups and there's always downs, and that's part of the process. So this limbo, if you would, which I believe it's episode 33, we talked about the plateau, is a very normal thing. And there's different levels, right? Naturally, there's different flat lines, if you would, in different places. But essentially, the process to get through it is the same, which is to not stop your feet, right? You know, as long as you continue to go with the music, in this case, your life, right? Not quit. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on the music. Don't give up. Oh, I haven't gotten any better in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Right. But that's for someone like me, and for someone like Lester with a little more experience. Also, like that's what it sounds like. Like, oh, I haven't gotten better in 2 months. Like, okay. Would you say that if you were learning piano? Would you say that if you were learning soccer? You're a soccer player,
Yeah.
right? So like that, for someone new coming in, put yourself with how fast that you've grown since you started.
Okay.
Put someone with soccer from the beginning to how long that you've been dancing up to the skills in comparison to what you've seen in the scene, and you have a lot of experience. You're very, very metido in that sense.
Yeah.
And then they're complaining at how bad they're doing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Essentially, at the end of the day, it's absolutely
Time.
It's time.
Time.
Just keep doing it. Okay, you want to slow down a little bit. You want to take a little bit of a break. No problem. Normal. That's very, very, very normal. granted, but allow yourself to continue to come back for the same reason that you originally got started, and that's because you love to dance.
Yeah.
That's because you love connecting, you love the music, and as long as that, I guess you could say, intention is pure, the limbo is only a matter of time. It's only a phase, if you would.
Let me add something onto that. Something that I realized just now that it was amazing, and I connected the dots right now. If you don't fail right now,
Only happening on Salsa Kings Live.
only happening. So, if you don't fail now, you're gonna fail later. So it's better to fail now than to fail later. Boom.
Boom.
If you don't learn the lesson now, you're gonna have to learn it later.
Correct.
If you don't miss the shot now, you're gonna miss it later because you're still lacking that. Until you fail that, learn the lesson there, and keep going, it's just imminent. It's there. It's gonna come.
Right.
Better to come now than later.
Correct. So what is it? It's the secret to success is how fast you can fail. A lot of people think that there's you and then failing is in one direction and success is another. No, you got to get through failure to reach success. And unfortunately, a lot of the media and a lot of propaganda, if you would, they capitalize on the ability to make people feel bad when things go wrong. Newsflash, things always go wrong.
Boom.
Period. Things are always going to go wrong. And the faster that you are learning, I said the word learning, not failing. The faster that you are learning, the quicker you're going to reach success. And it's not going to happen unless you put yourself in those situations. So the more that you can get out there and actually feeling bad, you're receiving those lessons faster. And our mindset on the approach of when those things happen is ultimately what's going to determine if you're going to be able to continue with your feet. Which is why we always say in all of our beginners classes, don't stop your feet. Because as a beginner, we think we messed up. You didn't mess up as long as you are on the rhythm. As long as you continue to breathe. You're still alive. Que rico.
No, que rico.
We have ears, we can listen to music. We have legs, we can move our hips. We can, what? What a blessing.
Yeah, some people, and whenever they fail, and it's happened to me, I'm very, from my experience, sometimes because we failed, because I've done sports in the past, and I've, in order to be good at anything, you have to go through failures. But I guess in just the same way in dance, like when you go through failures, don't stay there, like you said, which is why we emphasize, don't stop your feet, just keep going, because we've been through this over and over again. We've I think we've done it all. I think me and you, we've done it all, and that's why we're, trying to help you to, avoid those little obstacles. But just don't stop your feet. Failure is inevitable, and as long as you don't just continue, don't stay there. Like he said from that podcast, it's not that serious. It's part of the process. Just keep going. Just keep going. Don't stop your feet, and you'll eventually get there.
Right. Yeah. And I think essentially which is why we have the title of this one specifically called Limbo, because there's a unique energy signature in this in between, kind of like where I'm at right now, like between like a nice haircut like these guys, and then you're kind of growing it long. There's like that medium phase. I think ladies, I was talking to somebody actually in the last social that I was like, oh my God, there's that medium in between, like me having my hair short and my hair long. I'm like, oh, you girls have that too. So anyways, that there's an energy signature in that limbo, and just understand that passes eventually with time if you continue to not get frustrated with that, and as long as you're continuing to go, you'll be fine. And keeping that in mind, that it's just part of the process. You're gonna do just fine. Stick to, get closer to an instructor or get closer to a friend. Allow yourself to borrow their enthusiasm, right? Because we're all in our ups and downs, and that's essentially what family and friends are for, especially in this amazing salsa community, bachata community, tango community, whatever you're into. Get more connected, talk about it, right? And essentially that's what we're here with, with the podcast, and we want to be able to basically shed light on, I guess you could say, the normalcy of all of these different things.
Yeah, because the same things happened to you happened to us. And the more that we can, put out our experiences and help you out, get through that little hurdle that it took us probably longer to get, it'll help us all out, and then we can actually go out there and not make it serious and just have fun and dance.
Correct.
I'm gonna give you a really interesting perspective, because
Pablo's perspectives are always very interesting.
Amazing. So, exactly what they're doing. Well, exactly what we're doing now. We're giving you the kind of like our mistakes so you guys don't make it. They did with me, and
Yeah.
Right now-
how long you been dancing for now?
2 years.
2 years.
Creo, casi 2 años, todavía no.
You're.
Imagínate, y su nombre es Rico Rico.
2 years.
2 years dancing, y su nombre es Rico Rico. Y estaba en un podcast, imagínate tú. No,
¿Tuviste?
vaya.
2 years. No coge más, pero it's what you were telling me about. You told me sometimes, bro. Right now, 2 years in, you're as good as you were. You're as good as I were when I was dancing for 5 years or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
It's not even. It makes. Hold on, I'm gonna go throw up. Hold on.
Yeah, but with that being said, like he's a perfect example of like he listens to us, he listens to those that have experience, and we have hopefully we find a way that we can help those as well that are looking to get better or don't want to make the same mistakes or actually are trying to get to that level so that they can get better sooner, a lot faster,
And ultimately to enjoy yourself more.
in the process.
That's we're here to have a good time, and exercising the heart. We got essentially everything takes practice, right? And sometimes, especially in our busy lives, if we're not practicing having fun,
Yeah.
how are we gonna how can we have more fun? Like there's people that walk into our dance class, our beginners 1, 2, 3, and for those of you that are academy owners and listening to this also, like you see their faces just light up. They're doing this most simple step in the world, and they haven't had that much fun in 15 years, they say, and they admit to us, So it's a blessing to be able to offer that opportunity, but at the same time, again, if we're not practicing this ability to have fun, so when you have a level 50 fun,
Okay.
you have a level 50 fun, and you're used to doing level 50, and then one day you're at level 40 when the normal crowd is at level like 10. Okay, because you've been practicing for 2 years straight on how to have more fun,
Right.
So then when you're not beating yourself, which is a good thing, by the way, that you're noticing that you're not continuing to grow, right? Or there's a hurdle there in which we should talk about it and massage and work through.
Yeah.
But to beat yourself up over it is counterproductive.
You shouldn't punish yourself for it.
You're already being
Punished.
You're already getting the lesson. That's hard enough as it is, right?
Right.
So to oh my gosh, what is it? What is it, like negative? There's a saying, un dicho, que dice like negative self-talk or beating yourself up is punishing yourself twice. One from the lesson, and then one because you're doing it to yourself. You're already getting it.
Right.
Right. So if anything, like your self-talk positive, love yourself. Say, hey, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna get through this.
Be your biggest cheerleader.
Be your biggest cheerleader, right? Who else is gonna do it? Especially a lot of us, it's hard for us to reach out in vulnerable situations, right? So allow yourself to be that person. I think the ladies are a little bit better at that than us. Speaking of which, ladies, we miss you. All of our queens, we want you over here. We want you talking about this with us because the lady perspective is extremely important.
Oh yes.
So we'll be having you on as well. But thank you guys so much. If you have any comments or questions, definitely let us know on
You
either.
got any comments there?
No, so far no. If we missed a comment, because there's definitely a lot of activity on here, people as far as for joining is concerned, go ahead and write it again if we missed it, so that we can go ahead and answer any comments and or questions.
Yeah. Right. How we did? What you think?
Yes.
Any questions?
Definitely. Well, a lot of fun. I mean, there's a little bit of clarity. I think we were able to kind of basically point out that the limbo is a transitionary period.
Yeah.
This happens often. Just don't let it get to you. The more that you can understand that piece, the shorter I believe that it will become. Lester, thank you so much for hopping on, brother. I appreciate
for having
you.
me. Hopefully I can do these more.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you have any final comments on ultimately the idea? But I think we did.
I think so.
Covered it,
I think
yeah.
so. I think we've I just probably would just go back on the like when we especially us that we're so close, especially when we go out, like go
Yeah.
with a friend, like so that when you're out there you don't feel like that. That I guess me, because I was so into the dance at that time, I noticed that he was not going through that. That's something that I guess I should look into now. But like go with friends, go with somebody like so that if that ever happens to you, you know, you can get out of that sooner. What do you say?
Oh, that's doing anything.
But that's it. Like,
For sure.
It happens to all of us. For me, I guess I have a little more experience, so that just I get over that maybe a little quicker. But if in the case, just sit down or just don't dance. Just don't dance so that it doesn't affect anyone else.
Right. That's a good one too. Definitely being responsible for your own energy, because there's definitely, I guess you could say, like, negative dancing also. Like you're just kind of like you're dumping your energy on other people, which is not energetically responsible.
It's selfish. It's actually
selfish is a great word. So be mindful of that. But again, just be nice. Essentially, all that comes from fear, lack, ego, all of those places that you feel that you need to be somewhere and you're not. Eso es normal. And allow yourself to breathe through it. And at the end of the day, you're at a party, bro. Like, yo, things could be so much worse. Things could be so much worse than you just not feeling the music. But at the end of the day, we're spoiled, right? Because we can be level 100 fun, and today we're feeling like level 70. It was a bad night. Like, it's all perspective at the end of the day. But as long as we stay humble and remember where we came from, like, how much fun did you have in your first class in comparison to how you were in Vivo? Like there's at the end of the day, as long as we keep in perspective, that it's all relative, then essentially then we're gonna be in good shape. Guys, thank you guys so much for continuing to tune in. Again, if you have any requests whatsoever, go ahead and shoot me an email, Andres, my first name, Andres, at salsakings.com. Any specific situations that you've been through while you were social dancing, go ahead and let us know. We'll go ahead and we can even bring you on the show as well, guys. This is for everybody to be able to take advantage of. I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about when we come back from the cruise.
Random notes.
So we'll be doing that. And again, we enjoy talking about the intangibles. Our program is based off around a lot of that, and kind of just teaching more than just, like, I guess you could say the moves, if you would. Kind of like what happens in between. So we enjoy talking about it. We enjoy taking notes on our experiences and definitely sharing them with you. Certainly a blessing for us to be able to have the ability to do so. So we hope that you guys are enjoying that. Thank you again for all of you for tuning in. And if we have no other comments, then we'll go ahead and close it out. Love you guys so much. Be good and have an amazing week.
Nos vemos.
Nos fuimos.
Rico.
Oh my God.